Greetings today. We continue in part 3 of the name of God, Jehovah Nissi. Satan attempts to entice the lustful habits of the old man to bring us back into bondage again. That is to take us as prisoners of war. Hebrews 2:14 says, "For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage." In the book of Numbers, chapter 11, we find beginning in verse 4, it says, "And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes." And they said one to another, "Let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt." Now, contrarily, Hebrews 11:15 says, "And truly, if they," that is Abraham and Sarah and his descendants, "had been mindful of that country from which they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned." You see, like Esau in Genesis chapter 25, verses 29 through 34, some sell their spiritual heritage and inheritance for some mere material thing or things. Genesis 25:29 says, "And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright." Galatians 5:17 says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to another." There's a war going on, so that you cannot do the things that you would or that you desire. John said in 1 John 2, beginning at verse 15, "Love not the world," that is the world system, "neither the things that are in the world system. If any man love the world system, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the eyes, and the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever." I fear that the coming future judgment of God will reveal far too many have lived their lives as Demas did, as referenced in 2 Timothy 4:20, when it says, "For Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world," again, this present world system, "and is departed from Thessalonica." He was AWOL in the Lord's service. 2 Peter 2:20 says, "For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse with them than the beginning."